call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. Me, all praise goes to, the Father Yahweh, in the name of His Son, Yahweh Shah, who the Word innately called Jesus Christ. We're going to do a class today, dealing with stumbling blocks, Christians, should we say, so-called Christians, can't seem to get over, they struggle with the understanding of it, so we're going to try to, bring some light to it, what we're going to go over today, already done been, well, not the scripture, because the scripture can't be cut up, but the understanding of the scripture already done been cut up left and right, so we just gonna go into it, a little bit more, to try to bring some more edification, to our people, to the so-called Christians, about, John 3:16. We're gonna open up with Sirach 39:24.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 39, verse 24. As his ways are plain unto the holy.
So who is the holy? We know, first and foremost, the holy is the nation of Israel. They were chosen to be holy unto the Most High God. The word holy means to be what? Set apart, or to be separate. So we supposed to be separate from following the ways of the other nation. But we know, only 1/3 of our people, gonna come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. 2/3 of our people, they're gonna continue to follow the ways of the so-called devil. Esau, who is the so-called white man, because the word devil, comes from the Latin word diablo, which just means deceit. So read that verse.
As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked.
So it said his ways are plain to the holy, man. Like we said, the scripture we're gonna go over John 3:16. That's really milk. That's easy to be understood, to the ones who are keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, but to the wicked, man, it's a stumbling block. You understand, man? What's a stumbling block? A stumbling block is like a hurdle. It's a hindrance from their progress or understanding, man. So, the Lord put John 3:16 in a way, and Christians, when they come across that, man, they trip and they fall. They can't get up from it. Why? Because they choose to follow the ways of the wicked, man. They choose to stay in their sin, and that's why the Lord is not, opening up their understanding to get, the proper understanding of John 3:16. And go to Proverbs 4:7.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 4.
Yeah, verse 7.
Chapter 4, verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing.
So wisdom is the principal thing. What I mean, the number one thing, because you got like a lot of these Christian pastors, they can quote a scripture in a minute, they can go to the verse and everything. So wisdom is the principal thing. The Bible is full of wisdom. Read.
Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding.
So you're supposed to get the understanding, man. When you reading these scriptures, if you ain't getting the understanding of them, it's pointless, man. It don't matter if you can quote, scriptures all day, every day. You can be a walking concordance. But if you ain't got the understanding of what the scripture is saying, man, it ain't gonna be of no use. You understand? Now we're gonna go to John chapter 3. And we're gonna start at, verse 1, so we can get the context of what this scripture, and what it's really going into. Read.
The book of St. John, chapter 3, start at verse 1. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. The same came to Jesus by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher coming from Yahweh. For no man can do these miracles that thou doest, except Yahweh be with him.
Okay, so we'll start right there. Okay, so what can we get from the understanding of what's going on right now? What you said, so what's going on?
Because it said there was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. So it seemed like, this man, he having a ruler of the Jews having a conversation with Yahweh Shah.
So what? That's two Israelite men, talking back and forth with each other. And said Nicodemus, he was a Pharisee, that was a sect in Israel at that time. And their job was to hold that. Give me back you. chapter 23, verse 1. Let's see what the job of the Pharisee was during the time of, you know what I'm saying, Yahweh.
Matthew
23.
The book of Matthew, chapter 23,
Verse 1.
verse 1. Then spake Yahushua to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat.
So it said the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. And what was Moses' job? Moses' job was to what? Teach the law, statutes, commandments, and judgment to the nation of Israel. So that was the Pharisees sitting in Moses' seat, meaning what? They were supposed to be doing the same thing. You know, they were supposed to be teaching the nation of Israel God's law, statutes, and commandments. Alright, go back to John.
Verse 3.
No, you go to verse 14 now. So we just want to get the context, you know what I'm saying, these two Israelite men, you know what I'm saying, having a conversation back and forth with each other.
Alright, verse 14.
And note it is too now, you know what I'm saying, you know, the preacher and everybody who always quote John 3:16, they don't never go to John 3:14, you understand? That's a big part, you know what I'm saying, what John 3:16 is about too.
Alright, verse 14. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so did the Son of Man be lifted up.
So he's telling you right there, as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness. Now what's the history on that? You know what I'm saying? Some of these Christians, they'll never, you know what I'm saying, go into, because they lack understanding. But we're going to go into the history of what, you know what I'm saying, John 3:14 is talking about. Give me that number. Number 21. Yeah. Come.
Book of Numbers, chapter 21, verse 3.
Go to verse 8.
Verse 8. Come, verse 8. And the Lord said unto Moses, make thee a fiery serpent, and set it upon a pole, and it shall come to pass that everyone that is bitten, when he look upon it, shall live.
Now you start at verse 3 so we can get what's going on.
And the Lord hearkened to the voice of Israel, and delivered up the Canaanites, and they utterly destroyed them in their cities. And he called the name of that place Hermah. And they journeyed from Mount Hermon by the way of the Red Sea to compass the land of Edom. And the soul of the people was which discouraged because of the way. And the people spake against and the people spake against Yahweh and against Moses. Wherefore have ye brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness?
So you got the people of Israel, you know what I'm saying, they were speaking against, you know what I'm saying, Moses and the Most High. No, that sounds just like our people today. You know what I'm saying? We always complaining about something. Read.
For there is no bread, neither is there any water, and our soul loatheth this light bread.
So they were complaining about, you know what I'm saying, ain't no water to drink, ain't no food to eat. You know what I'm saying? Our people, you know, they wanted to go back into Egypt. You know what I'm saying? After the Lord delivered them out of the captivity, they wanted to go right back into captivity. You know what I'm saying? That's the mind frame of our people, man. The Lord did so many miracles, you know what I'm saying, wonders for the nation of Israel with the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And they basically turned around, man, and spit in his face, you know what I'm saying, wanted to go back into the land of their captivity. Read.
And the Lord sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and much people of Israel died.
And that go to show you too, man, the Lord ain't nothing to play with, man. You want to complain, people always, you know what I'm saying, think the Lord is about love and all that. Now, man, if you speaking against the Lord, and you speaking against his anointed, man, his prophets, man, you know what I'm saying, you better be careful, man, because the Lord can send, you know what I'm saying, a plague upon you and upon your household, man. The Lord ain't nothing to play with, and he don't play about his anointed men. Read.
Therefore the people came to Moses and said, We have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord and against thee. Pray unto the Lord, and that he take away the serpents from us. And Moses prayed for the people. And the Lord said unto Moses, Make thee a fiery serpent, and set it upon a pole.
You see, that's also, man, when you get that on the ambulance, you know what I'm saying, truck, you see that, you know what I'm saying, serpent upon the pole, man, you know what I'm saying. Esau get that from the scriptures, man. They get everything, you know what I'm saying, from our history. That's why they put that up on the ambulance, you know what I'm saying. It's supposed to represent what, you know what I'm saying, healing or whatever. Read.
And it shall come to pass that everyone that is bitten, when he look upon it, shall live. And Moses made a serpent of brass, and put it upon a pole. And it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived.
So, you know what I'm saying, what's going on here? Who was that serpent, you know what I'm saying, that Moses, you know what I'm saying, made and lifted up on the pole for? Who was that for? So,
for the nation of Israel.
For the nation of Israel, come, you know what I'm saying? So, this is giving you the content, you know what I'm saying, what John 3:16 is talking about. That's why you got to go into the history, you know what I'm saying, to understand and get the content, man, so you can get the wisdom, knowledge, understanding of the scriptures. Go back to John. Also, man, you know what I'm saying, our people, you know what I'm saying, when you go back through the history, they start worshiping, you know what I'm saying, that serpent, man. That goes to show you, man, our people wicked as hell. Read.
Verse 15, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. For God so loved the world.
Now that's why our people, you know what I'm saying, hey, they trapped up right now. You know what I'm saying, they run up to you. You know what I'm saying? See, God so loved the world. You know what I'm saying? But what world is this talking about? But you know what I'm saying? When you go into the Greek, what you know Christians don't like to do. You know what I'm saying? They don't go into the etymology of words and see. You know what I'm saying? What word was there? You know what I'm saying? Before it was translated, because the Bible is not written in English. You know what I'm saying? So you got to go into, you know what I'm saying, the word that was there, so you can get the understanding of what it's talking about. And we're gonna get some precepts to show you. You know what I'm saying? The world that God so loved. You got something?
Book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord.
Who shall be saved?
Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded. World without end.
So that world, you know what I'm saying, that the Lord so loved, man. Speaking of the world of Israel, you know what I'm saying, cosmos, man. I mean, a particular group of people who got common interests or goals, you know what I'm saying. Just like you have the hip hop world, just like you have the sea world, you know what I'm saying, the basketball world, things of that nature. A group of people who have common interests or goals. You know what I'm saying. What we had, the interest in the common, you know what I'm saying, goal. What I say, the agreement we had with who? The Most High Yahweh. He gave us His law, statutes, and commandments, and we made an agreement with Him, and we came into that covenant with Him that we were going to keep His law, statutes, and commandments. He only gave that to the nation of Israel. Give me, before you get that, give me Wisdom of Solomon 18:24. Yeah. People got to understand too, man, like you said, man, world has more definitions than, you know what I'm saying, just one definition. So you can't just, you know what I'm saying, see that and then put what you want to put, you know what I'm saying, in there to make it mean what you want to make it mean.
You know, it's like in what is it, Matthew said, I pray for them, I pray not for the world. John, yeah, it's like John, what, 7. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying, that let you know right there, you know what I'm saying, you got to examine the scriptures in the context. You got to go precept upon precept, man, because if you believe that He saved the world, then He come right on back in what is it, verse 17, right? Yeah. It said in the same chapter, verse 17, it said he prayed for them, he prayed not.
Chapter 17, verse 9.
Yeah, come. And you know, you gotta examine everything, man, precept upon precept.
So that's how you commanded to read the Bible. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get the understanding, man. Tell you that in Isaiah the 28th chapter, right? Around about what, verse 9, it command you to read the Bible like that, man, to get to understand. And you gotta understand anyway too. The Bible was only written for one nation of people. You know what I'm saying? The Bible was written by Israelites through the Holy Spirit to the Israelites. The Bible wasn't written to any other nation, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord, only reason you read about other nations is because we came in contact with them. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, you know what I'm saying? This is our history book, man. You know what I'm saying? But what the white man did when he stole this from us, you know what I'm saying? He started painting his images in it. He started, you know what I'm saying, going about, you know what I'm saying, making it seem like the Bible is for everybody and for all nations. But that's not true, man. Read that.
Chapter 18,
verse 24.
Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 24. For in the long garment was the whole world, and in the 4 rows of the stone was the glory of the fathers graven in thy majesty upon the diadem of his head.
So what they're talking about, man? They're talking about the long robe that the priest wore. You know what I'm saying? They were commanding to wear. You know what I'm saying? They had what, the breastplate and the ephod on that, right? You know what I'm saying? And it said, read that again.
For in the long garment was the whole world.
So it said the whole world was in the long garment. You know what I'm saying? That means every single body was in a garment. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna tell you, you know what I'm saying, what it was talking about, the team.
And in the 4 rows.
In the 4 rows, right? Because you know what I'm saying. In the breastplate, you had 4 rows. You know what I'm saying. And they had what, a stone representing each of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. So that's the world, you know what I'm saying, that the Lord loved, man. That's the only world that the Lord cared about. He don't care about no other nation. It ain't no way around it, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta either accept it, you know what I'm saying, hey, move on, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't make the Most High be, you know what I'm saying, how you want him to be or feel how you want him to feel. Just because you feel like, you know what I'm saying, you want him to love everybody. Well, the Lord ain't studying about loving everybody, man. There ain't nothing you can do about it. I don't give a damn, you know what I'm saying, how many friends of the other nations you got. That don't mean a damn thing, man. The Lord only loved the nation of Israel. They're the only people he chose. He chose. Why you think we going through all the sufferings we going through now? You got to ask yourself that too. If the Lord loved everybody, why the hell we at the bottom? Why the hell we getting shot down? Why the hell, you know what I'm saying, they getting away with it, man. They shooting us down like animals, you know what I'm saying, on camera, and then, you know what I'm saying, go to court and get found not guilty. You know what I'm saying? God love everybody. Why the hell is that happening to us, man? Why the hell? I guarantee you, you know what I'm saying, if it was a whole bunch of black cops, you know what I'm saying, going around shooting white people, man, you think they'll be getting off, man? They was goddamn on camera just shooting unarmed white people, man. They'll put them all up under the prison. You understand? So why the hell you, common sense, you should ask yourself, man, why the hell is this happening to us? And you go to church and your preacher telling you, you know what I'm saying, God love everybody. Well, why the hell we suffering? Why the hell ain't nobody else suffering like, you know what I'm saying, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? So it's either, you know what I'm saying, you got 2 things to think about. Either God don't love us, you know, we did something to piss God off, the reason why he allowing us, you know what I'm saying, to go through all this affliction and tribulation as a nation, you know what I'm saying, that we going through. You know what I'm saying? You even got Kevin Durant, man, he came out and said on a report one time last year, he was like, man, he's starting to realize, man, you know what I'm saying, that if he couldn't play basketball, basically, he would just be another nigga, man, that he, only reason he don't go through, you know what I'm saying, what, you know what I'm saying, average Jake would go through is because of his talent, man. But if it wasn't for that, he was like, man, you know what I'm saying, he'll be getting treated the same damn way. You know, so these people don't love you, man. It's just like back in the day, man, whoever picked the most kind, you know what I'm saying, they got to come in and master house. That's the same way it is now, you know what I'm saying, whoever making the master the most money, you know what I'm saying, they'll let you, you know what I'm saying, come in their house and chill with them. You know, they'll let you date their daughter. If you were just a straight Negro from the hood working at McDonald's, you think you'll be goddamn up there, they parties, you think you'll be, you know what I'm saying, they'll allow you to date their daughters and shit, man? Hell no, you know what I'm saying? But they, you know what I'm saying, you making them money. They making billions of dollars off these athletes, you know what I'm saying? they pay them what, about 100 million for 6 years. That's still crumbs to compare to what they making off on. If they paying them, you know what I'm saying, 100 million for 6 years, imagine how much they done made, you know what I'm saying, off them in them damn 6 years, man. So you still getting a crumb, man. You still just a high paid slave, man. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause you will never be able to rise above your nation. You understand? You got something?
I got Book of Jeremiah, chapter 32, verse 32. It says, because all of the evil of the children of Israel and of the children of Judah, which they have done to provoke me to anger, they, their king, their princes, their priests, and their prophets, and the men of Judah, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and they have turned unto me the back and not the face, though I taught them, raising up early and teaching them, yet they have not hearkened to receive instruction. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, like the brother said, man, you know what I'm saying? Why you think we going through what we going through, man, not the other nations? You know what I'm saying? It clearly tell you right here, the children of Israel and the children of Judah have provoked me to anger, man. So what you do if you got a child, man, and like in the 33rd verse, it said, yet they have not hearkened to receive instruction. Because the Lord set instructions for us to follow, which is the law, statutes, and commandments. And we ventured away from that, man. And what you do if you got a child, what you do when you have a child, man, that you tell to do something and they fail to do what you tell them to do, you chastise them, man. You whoop them. You know what I'm saying? You punish them. You put them on punishment. You tell them you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't have this, you can't have that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and what was taken away from us, man, our heritage, man. It goes back to Jeremiah 17:4, man. You know, we discontinued from our heritage, man, because the Lord set instructions for us to follow, man, and we, as a nation of people, man, we chose to do other things, man. We chose to follow the ways of the heathen, following the ways of the other nation. You know what I'm saying? Like it tell you in the book of what it was, 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, whenever they wanted a king. They wanted a king like unto the other nation. You know what I'm saying? We had the ultimate king, man, which is Yahushua. You know, but our people, man, we always cleaved unto the other nation, man, and wanted what they had, man. We got the ultimate treasure. You know what I'm saying? Which is wisdom and understanding of the scriptures, man. And plus, you know what I'm saying? We got the ultimate king. We got the ultimate king, salvation. Salvation is of us. You know what I'm saying? So we shouldn't be one for nothing, man. We should be focusing on these scriptures, meditating these scriptures, man, and trying to get better and get more treasure, get more wisdom, more knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
I got a precept. Said this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 5. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speak unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastising of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. For whom the Lord loveth, he chastiseth, and scourges every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastising, God dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chastiseth not? But if you be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then ye are bastards and not sons. So, like, you know what I'm saying? He was saying, man, that's why we going through the chastisement. Because we, you know what I'm saying, are the children of the Most High. We are the sons and daughters of the Most High Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? That's why we going through all the curses that we going through. And that's why the Lord, you know what I'm saying, the other nations ain't going through, you know what I'm saying, what we going through. You know what I'm saying? But we got to endure, man. We got to fight. You know what I'm saying? We got to, you know what I'm saying, repent. You know, bethink ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Bethink means to remember. You know, like 1 Kings 8, chapter 8, verse 47 say, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to bethink ourselves. Remember, meaning what? Remember who we are, man. Remember, you know what I'm saying, the great miracles and, you know, wonders that the Lord did for us, man. He chose us, man. That's an honor to be chosen by the Most High. You understand, man? So we, you know what I'm saying, we just got to endure this chastisement. Cause, hey, man, it's almost up, man. Esau's kingdom, you know what I'm saying, is about to fall, man. Go back to John. Go to that, yeah, John chapter 17, verse 9. Get more precept for the, you know what I'm saying, the word.
The book of John, chapter 17, verse 9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world.
Hold on. So is that a contradiction right there? Because he just said, I pray for them. I pray not for the world. You know what I'm saying? But then John chapter 3 said, I love the world. So, you know what I'm saying? Something off right there. Is the scriptures contradicting themselves? It's just the understanding that you damn Christians got, you know what I'm saying, off. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know the scripture the Bible don't contradict itself. So that means you gotta, you know what I'm saying, go into depth and look more into, you know what I'm saying, the understanding that you got in John 3:16. Cause that understanding came from your slave master. That's a slave plantation doctrine, man. You know what I'm saying? That the white man taught you. That's not of the Lord, man. That's not what the Bible is speaking about. He said he prayed for them. Who is the them, man? The them is the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? To be more in depth, you know what I'm saying? The elect of Israel. Because they the only people who going to be saved, you know what I'm saying? They the only people who Yahweh is going to send his son Yahweh shout back and his angels back to deliver, you know what I'm saying? The nation of Israel, man. The rest of the world, man, the Lord ain't praying for them. No, ain't praying for them. Why? Because they was already predestined to be destroyed, man. So why would he pray for people who are already predestined to be destroyed, man? And these other nations are already predestined to go in captivity. You know what I'm saying? Under our rulership. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah in the kingdom, man. The other nations are going to be our slaves just like we were their slaves. You understand? You got something?
Yeah, I got Matthew 15:24. He said, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Man, that kill everything right there, man. You can't get over around this scripture right here, man. This is Yahweh Shah's own words, man. With Jesus Christ for you Christians. Because we know that's what y'all call him by. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? People in the faith, we know his name was Yahweh Shah. But we just going to say Jesus. Because we know y'all Christians, you know what I'm saying? Love good old Jesus. And that's what y'all think Messiah's name is. So, he said he's only sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's a closed chapter, man. That you can close the book right there, man. Exactly. What more can you say against that? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no other scripture you can go to you know what I'm saying, try to debunk what Jesus Christ said out his own mouth, man.
But you know what I'm saying, like Jehovah's Witness though, they believe that it's a spiritual Israel. They believe anybody can be of Israel in the spirit.
We'll do a class on that later on. Later on we'll do a class on that. You know what I'm saying? Man?
But I got another one. Chapter 18, St. John chapter 18, verse 20. It said, Yahweh Shah answered him. Yahweh Shah answered him, I speak openly to the world.
So he said he spake openly unto the world. So did Yahweh Shah speaking to everybody in the world? You know what I'm saying? We're going to see who the world is, who he was speaking to. Read.
I ever taught in the synagogue, in the temple, whether the Jews also resort.
He said he taught in the synagogue and in the temple, man, where the Jews always resort, you know what I'm saying, reside, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the world who the Lord came for. You know what I'm saying? That's the world who the Lord was speaking to. You understand? The Lord was not worried about no damn other nation, man. You give me Amos 3 verse 1. There's so many precepts you can go to show you, man, the only people the Lord loved, man, is the nation of Israel. Read.
Book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear these words that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all
So he's talking to the nation of Israel. He said, you only have I known. So the Lord created everybody, right? You know what I'm saying? He created every nation on the face of the earth. So what does it mean? What did he mean, you only that I know? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you the only nation that I'm dealing with, man. You know what I'm saying? You the only nation that I love. You the only nation I care about, man. I don't give a damn about these other nations, man. They just here to play their part and they role, man. But the only nation I'm concerned with, you know what I'm saying, is my people, man. The people I chose with me from the beginning, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you can't get around these scriptures, man. You got something?
Yeah. I got
I'll bring it out. What Psalm 147 verse 19?
Yeah.
I'll bring it out. This is the book of Psalm, chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel.
That shows you right there, you know what I'm saying? He showed his word unto Jacob. Jacob, meaning just Jacob. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody. It said Jacob, which we know Jacob is Israel. He had 12 sons, 12 tribes of Israel. Read on. Well, then it says statutes and his judgment. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why. And go back to the point what the brother was saying. That's the reason why we catching the most hell, man. You know what I'm saying? Because his judgment was only cast unto us. You know what I'm saying? For us breaking the law, for us not hearkening to his word, we got put into captivity. We started serving in this damn hellhole that we in right now, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we broke the law and he brought forth his judgment on us. You know?
Salaki, let me start over. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation.
He ain't dealt so with any other nation, man. It's self-explanatory, man. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't even have to break that down. You know what I'm saying? Like the brother said in the beginning. This milk, man. This stuff you can read, you know what I'm saying, verbatim and know what it's talking about. You know what I'm saying? You really don't have to have a breakdown or an interpretation of the scriptures, man, to really know, you know what I'm saying, what it really meaning. You know what I'm saying? You know?
And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't known his judgments, man. That's the reason why you still got such thing as white privilege. You know what I'm saying? You might say, well, you know, the white man, they get taxed just like us, but they go to prison just like us. But we talking about as a majority, man. You know what I'm saying? It's more of our people feel of them prison houses than any other nation. And then that's just a sign of letting you know we're in the end time, man. Esau kingdom is falling, man. You know what I'm saying? When the hell, how the hell you a ruler and a king and your people gotta serve life in prison, man, for a crime? I don't give a damn what the crime was. A white man shouldn't be in prison forever. And cause it tell you in Job 9:24, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. So if the white man ruling the world, why he letting his people suffer in prison like that, man? You know what I'm saying? That show you, that's one sign low that his kingdom is falling, man.
Isaiah chapter 63, verse 18. The people of thy holiness have possessed it but a little while. Our adversaries have trodden down thy sanctuary. We are thine. Thou never bearest rule over them. They were not called by their name. So it just said, you know what I'm saying, the nation of Israel, we are your people. You know what I'm saying? But our adversaries, you know what I'm saying, they in our land, you know what I'm saying? And they ruling the world right now, you know what I'm saying? The world was given to us, it was made for our sake. But you know what I'm saying, the nation of Edom, with the so-called white man, they ruling the world right now. They trying down the sanctuary right now. And it said, thou never bear rule over them. The Lord didn't never choose them to be his people and for him to be their God, man. You know what I'm saying? They was never, you know what I'm saying, called by, you know what I'm saying, the Most High name, man. You know what I'm saying? He made them to be the damn, you know what I'm saying, devil that the Bible speaks of, to be the wicked, to go about deceiving the nations, to keep our people deceived, man. And they doing a hell of a job. They did a hell of a job in you know what I'm saying, in the role that the Lord, you know what I'm saying, created them, you know what I'm saying, to be, man. You know what I'm saying? The spirit he put in them, man, they doing a hell of a job at it, man. You know what I'm saying? But what are our people doing, man? See, like, you know what I'm saying? We doing a hell of a job, you know what I'm saying, by following behind them. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be the righteous, man. We supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, following after the law, statutes, commandment. We ain't supposed to have that spirit of Esau, man. You know what I'm saying? That do or thou wilt spirit. You know what I'm saying? But that's what our people got in them, man. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's already stated anyway that 2/3 of our people are gonna be destroyed anyway. So, you know. Go back to John chapter 3.
The book of John, chapter 3, verse 17. Start out with alright, verse 16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
They get trapped up with that whosoever too. You know what I'm saying? But you already know. Yeah.
The book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever.
So it says it shall come to pass that whosoever, right? Now read.
Shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Ye men of Israel.
Ye men of who?
Ye men of Israel. Hear these words.
So who the Lord is speaking to, man? He's speaking to the men of Israel, the nation of Israel, man. That's the whosoever, you know what I'm saying, that the Lord is talking about, man. Whosoever of the nation of Israel to call on the Lord's name and believe on his Son, man, should be saved. Give me Joel 2:32.
Book of Joel, chapter
2,
verse 32. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call.
There you go again. It says it shall come to pass that whosoever, you know what I'm saying? Read.
Shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion.
In Mount Zion, man. Saying the same thing as the 2nd chapter, 21st verse is saying, man. Whosoever of the nation of Israel of Mount Zion, read.
And in Jerusalem.
And in Jerusalem, read.
Shall be deliverance.
Shall be deliverance, man. Only deliverance, only salvation is the nation of Israel, man. That's the whosoever in John, you know what I'm saying, chapter 3, verse 16 is talking about. Give me another one. Give me Acts chapter 13, verse 26. Precept upon precept, man. Line upon line, here a little, there a little. That's how you get the understanding, man, of what the scriptures is talking about. 13:26.
In the book of Acts, chapter 13, verse 26. Men and brethren, children of the stock of Abraham.
Abraham is who? He's the, you know what I'm saying, one of the forefathers of the nation of Israel. Abraham, and then what? It went to Isaac, and then to Jacob. Out of Jacob came the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Those are who is of the stock of Abraham. Read.
And whosoever.
There go that whosoever again. Read.
Among you feareth God, to you is the word of this salvation sent.
So the word of salvation is sent to the people of the stock of Abraham, who is the nation of Israel. Man. You know what I'm saying? That, hey man, that John 3:16, the understanding that the Christians got, man, it shouldn't even be, you know what I'm saying, no more, you know what I'm saying, y'all coming up, you know what I'm saying, bringing up this scripture no more, man. find something else to come up with. You know what I'm saying, man? Cause hey, y'all falling short now, man. Y'all step your game up, Christian. You know what I'm saying, man? This like we said, bro, this is milk, man. This is when you first come into the truth, you know what I'm saying, repent that Hebrew Israelite, you know what I'm saying, you learn what the color scripts and the curses. John 3:16, man, you know what I'm saying, that's up there too with one of the basic things we learn when we first come into this truth, man. You know what I'm saying?
Just like, okay, it said the word of this salvation, because we already, you know what I'm saying, you go back to what, Genesis 1:1, you know what I'm saying, in the beginning was the word, we know the word is who, Yahweh Shah, you know what I'm saying, then you go back to Matthew 15:24, it said, Yahweh Shah was sent only unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, you know what I'm saying, like the brother said, man, precept upon precept, man, that's how you figure out, you know what I'm saying, the mysteries of the Bible, man.
Man. Let me get Luke chapter 1 verse 16.
Luke chapter 1 verse 68. The book of Luke chapter 1 verse 68. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel.
Blessed be the Lord God of Israel. Nah, bro, of all nations.
Blessed be the Lord God of Israel.
No, the Chinese man.
Of Israel.
No, the white man.
Of Israel.
No, the African man.
Of Israel.
Read.
For he has visited and redeemed his people.
He redeemed everybody.
His people.
His people, man. Who is his people? The nation of Israel, man. That's who he visited and redeemed. Read.
And have raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies.
That we, the nation of Israel, shall be saved from our enemy, man. Who was our enemies? You know what I'm saying? All the nation that's outside the nation of Israel is our enemies. The Lord has sent his son to come, you know what I'm saying, die for us, shed his blood for us, you know what I'm saying, to save his people, man. So we can be saved from all this affliction, all this, you know what I'm saying, the rape they did to our people, you know what I'm saying, the robbery, the murder, man. We need to be saved from that, man.
What's our ultimate enemy, man? You know what I'm saying? These damn Edomites, man.
Them are number one enemies right now.
It's like it stated in Deuteronomy, 28 verse 48. It said, therefore thou shalt serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness.
We want food. Who do we gotta go to, man? We gotta go to the white man. You know what I'm saying? They the one own all these grocery stores. They the one own all these fast food restaurants, man. You know what I'm saying? Even if a Jay own a grocery store, who he still gotta serve and go to the white man, pay tax and go to the white man to get the food to put in his stores, man. You know what I'm saying? So we serving our enemies for hunger, man. If they wanna, you know what I'm saying, stop us from eating, they could. What we'll do? You know what I'm saying? Our people, we don't know how to. The majority of our people, we don't know how to hunt. You know what I'm saying? And we do hunt and kill animals. We don't know how to, you know what I'm saying, go through the process. Exactly.
Like processing and all that.
Exactly.
And then, you know, so you got simple jakes out there that be talking about, well, I can start a business. But yeah, okay, you start your business. Okay, who you gotta sign paperwork to?
Who you gotta go get your business license?
Yeah, you gotta get your business license with Esau. You gotta pay tax to Esau. And then I done seen this multiple times, man. Well, I ain't see it happen to a Jake. You know, they ain't gonna televise that, cause they'll be like, you know what I'm saying, racial profiling or whatever. But I done seen it happen to them Edomites, man. They have a business for like 4 or 5 years. You know what I'm saying? They be leasing the building or whatever. Then all of a sudden, the person who owned the building, who owned the property, they can up the rent whenever they get ready. And you can't, if you just if isn't your revenue, you got a set revenue that coming in month by month, year by year, and you got employees you got to pay, you got rent, you got taxes, you got land taxes and all that. You know what I'm saying? Then the person who you rent the building from, he up the rent a substantial amount. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be able to pay it. So guess what you gotta do? You gotta let that business go, man. You know what I'm saying? These Edomites can do whatever they want to do at any given time, man, because they know how to print out these damn contracts to where it have loopholes in that shit. And you not being a businessman, you not being a part of the fold to where you know how crafty they be doing these type of things. You'll sign your name on the dotted line and not even knowing what you done got yourself into. You know? So these devils can pull the rug out up under you at any given time, man. And it said, and in want of all things. Alright, verse 48, it said, therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst.
And in thirst, man, that water we drinking right now. Who we gotta get that water from? You know what I'm saying? We gotta get it from the white man. You want, you know what I'm saying, a Coke. You want a Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? You want a Sprite. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go to them to get all these things, man. You know what I'm saying? These people want to cut off our water. They can do it. What can you do about it? You can't do a damn thing about it, man, because they control that. You understand? Because we serving them. Read.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness. We want our clothes, man. Who own these malls? Who own these, the textiles, man? You know what I'm saying? The material that we use to make these clothes. You know what I'm saying? The white man, we got to serve them for all these things. Read.
And in want of all things.
And in want of all things, man. You want a driver license. You got to go to them to get. You die, man. You got to go to them to get a death certificate. You want a job, man. You got to go to them. You know what I'm saying? You want a car. You know what I'm saying? You got to go through their bank system to get, you know what I'm saying, to get an auto loan, man. Everything you want, man, you gotta serve the so-called white man for. You understand? Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed.
You know, like we always say, man, hey, who had yokes of iron put on their neck? You understand, man? Google it. Google yokes of iron, man.
Most important, who done it? Who did it? You know what I'm saying? Because history, you know what I'm saying? Even the Chinese man could admit that, you know what I'm saying, so-called blacks, you know what I'm saying, had went through slavery, had yokes of iron in it. But the point is, who did it? You know what I'm saying? Because you have these coon niggas out here that they like to say, we did it to ourselves, or you know what I'm saying, we caused that to happen. You know what I'm saying? Which in a sense, you know what I'm saying, y'all from sin from the Most High, but they be talking about it in a whole nother aspect. You know what I'm saying? Of we caused it to happen. I don't know where the hell they be coming from with the bullshit they be saying, but you know, the most important thing is who did it. Is the so-called white man.
They don't like to admit that, man.
Yeah.
They're your good old friendly neighborhood white man, man. And guess what, man? You think for 1 minute, if he couldn't put you back in chains, man, you think he wouldn't do it, man? You think he couldn't put you back in that field, having you work for him, while he, you know what I'm saying, chill, rape your women? You know what I'm saying? Sit back and sip on lemonade, put his feet up on your kid's back. You know what I'm saying? You think he wouldn't do that? Man, he'll do that shit in a minute, man. In a heartbeat, man. Because that's the spirit that the Lord put in them, man. They hate us. Give me, you got something?
Yeah, I got book of Psalms chapter 7, verse 9. It said, oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just, for the righteousness of Yahweh trieth the heart and reigns. My defense is Yahweh, which saveth the upright in heart. You know what I'm saying? Them the days that we waiting on, man. You know what I'm saying? For this affliction to end. You know, just sidebar a little bit. You know, speaking on slavery and all that. Them the days that we waiting on, man, to get delivered up out of here, man. For this affliction to end, man. And it says
hold up. He said he saved the upright in heart, right? So he said he saved the upright in heart. But let's see what, you know what I'm saying, get a precept to show is the so-called white man, is he upright in heart? You know what I'm saying? Let's see what the scriptures say. There's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. So who are they speaking about, man? They're speaking about the nation of Esau, man, the nation of Edom. So his soul is not upright. So the Lord is not coming back to save a soul that is not upright, man. Because the Lord put that spirit in them to be like that, to be wicked, man. You got to understand that. And it said, but the just shall live by his faith. Who are the just, man? Romans 7, verse 12, the just are the ones who fallen after the law, statutes, and commandments. Esau, white man, is not following after law, statutes, and commandments, man. You understand? He's not upright, man. Give me Ecclesiastes, hold on, give me Ecclesiastes 7, verse 13. Man, y'all let you get back to that. Yeah, Ecclesiastes 7, verse 13.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 13. Consider the work of Yahweh, for who can make that straight which has been which he had made crooked.
So the Lord made the so-called white man's spirit crooked, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why he was that the same spirit, you know what I'm saying, that was in the serpent, you know what I'm saying, in the Garden of Eden, man. That's the spirit that's in the so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? He got that crooked, you know what I'm saying, sneaky, deceiving spirit about him, man. And it said, who can make that straight? Was the Lord made crooked, man. So the Lord made the spirit in them crooked to be like that, man. So you can't make it straight. You can't pray for him and then he gonna get better, man. That's not in his nature, man. His nature is to be the deceiver on the planet Earth, man.
That's right.
His nature is not to be righteous, is not to be upright, man. You got to deal with that. You got to understand that.
You gotta accept it, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the scripture, the word speaks for itself, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord made it crooked. Who can make it straight, man?
Because that's the main people who, you know what, the main reason why our people run to John chapter 3:16 anyway, to say God so loved the world, is because why? Because they want to save their master, man. They don't give a damn they don't give a damn about saving the Arabs. They don't give a damn about saving the Chinese people, man. They run to John 3:16 to save good old master. You know what I'm saying? That's all they care about, man. Because when you at camp, who the first person they ask about, man? Well, what about the white man? You understand, man? Look, man, let the white man be who he is, man. Worry about your own damn self. You understand? You won't even say, well, you know what I'm saying, what I got to do to repent and to be saved? What I got to do to try to wake my mama? Or what I got to do to try to wake my father, my sister, my brother? You ain't gonna give a damn about them, man. You only care about the white man. And the white man don't give a damn about you, man. The white man is in his kingdom right now, shooting your ass down, locking your ass up in prison, man. He ain't giving a damn about you. He enjoying his kingdom. People. Just like, man, I was reading an article, man, about California. They said the police, when they had some type of rally out there with white supremacists or whatever, and they said the police was helping the white supremacists, man. Because why? They going to stick together, man. When that line, you know what I'm saying, get put down, whose side they gonna be on? They ain't gonna be on your side. They gonna be on the side of their people, man.
Like the officer just got through mentioning. I've been reading the article where Esau kingdom fallen, man. You know what I'm saying? Edomites. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got no damn food and shit. You got I forgot what I think it was out there in Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? I think it was 3 cops. Three white police helped this family. I think it was the wife and the husband. I think it was either a daughter or her sister or whatever. It was 3 Edomites, and the police helped them. Went in the grocery store, took them, got them in the car, drove them to the grocery store, bought them food and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They gonna help their own. You know what I'm saying? But how many people? How many blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans out there starving and dying and shit? You see anybody trying to uplift them?
Look at Venezuela. You know what I'm saying? They going through a straight famine down there, man. You know what I'm saying? What else that happened when that damn hurricane hit with that Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, man? Look at all the atrocities they going through, man. You know, you think the white man give a damn about that, man?
And then what it was Trump or either the American government said they said the hell with Puerto Rico, tell them to help themselves. they
supposed to be up under America, ain't that
yeah.
American territory?
Yeah, they supposed to They supposed to be helping them get right, but they said the hell with Puerto Rico. I'm telling them to help themselves because see they got every country, state, well every state they have a it like a reserve. You know what I'm saying? Like money reserved for storms and whatever. Like just say like a economical collapse or whatever. They have money stored up. So they saying that Puerto Rico got like over $1 billion in their reserve. So you know what I'm saying? Trump said the hell with them telling them to help themselves. Use some of that money that they